Hi random people, welcome back to my channel. Now before I start, I'm gonna address some things because they're gonna drive me crazy when I'm editing this video, so I'm just gonna address it right now. First of all, this right here, it's annoying. I hate that it's showing up, but I can get rid of it. And second of all, I have a new setup. For the two of you who watched my last videos, you can see that this place was looking like a prison cell, but not anymore because I got those two things, and that proves I'm not in a prison cell. Welcome back to my channel. It's also nighttime, so sorry about the lighting. We're just gonna make it work, okay? We're just gonna pretend like we don't care. Okay, happy Valentine's Day. It is I think that Valentine's Day was like was it 4 or 5 days ago for me over here. I still wanted to make a Valentine's Day themed video, so this is exactly what it's gonna be. And if you've seen the thumbnail, then you know we're gonna be talking about some movies here today. Before that, I do want to address something. If you watched my last video, it was a Temu and AliExpress haul, which if you haven't, please help me out and watch it. Thank you so much. But if you watched it, you can tell that it wasn't completed, and I am getting to that. I did promise in that video that it was going to be my next video, but it has been in editing hell since then, and school and stuff, so sorry. But I'm gonna get to that, and it's probably gonna be after this one or after the next one. I just wanted to do a video now that I was more comfortable bringing it out, because I did that one like sometime last year, and I don't know. I'm not feeling so inspired anymore. So I just wanted to do this one because this is the one I wanted to do for a while. I didn't want to wait. So here I am. Plus, I'm on break. This is my final day of break. Second to final day of break. But Sunday doesn't matter. So my final day of break. And it's been fine. It hasn't really been that much fun, but it's been fine. I rested. It's been good. Whatever. Today, we are going to be talking about two movies in particular. Not just any movies, two very popular movies. At least they were very popular at that time. They are To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and the second one, P.S. I Still Love You. So basically, I just wanted to watch the videos because I was watching a video by with Cindy. She's so awesome. You should check her out if you haven't watched that video. But she was reacting to P.S. I Love You. And I remember as I was watching the video, I just started to feel very I don't know, very strange about it, because of I could sense myself disagreeing with a lot of things. Not with that Cindy was saying, but like just the things that were being said in the movie, or the way the main female lead Lara Jean was acting. And I remember that I did not feel this way before. Like, the movie wasn't my best movie. It wasn't really all that to me, like some other people. But I enjoyed it for the most part, and I thought that everything was fine. I didn't find any issues with it. There, of course, some things rubbed me the wrong way, which I'm gonna get into. But for the most part, I thought it was pretty cool. So imagine my surprise, just like hearing Cindy react to it and just being like, "Wait, hold up," but like, this isn't what I remember. So yeah, that was weird. And I wanted to explore that a little bit. So I watched both of the movies. I watched the first one. I don't know why. I I thought that was the P.S. I Love You one. I don't know why I thought that, but I was watching the first one, and then in the middle of it I was like, wait a minute. this isn't it. This isn't the movie. But I accidentally finished it. And then I watched the second one. So I'm just gonna combine my thoughts for both of them today. Okay, so earlier I forgot to say my intro. So I'm just gonna say that. Hi there. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a good day, a good week. And if you're not, I hope this can cheer you up a little bit. Hope this can cheer me up a little bit. So let's get into it. I thought that the first thing I was gonna do in this video was to kind of give you guys some background information, and then after we can get into like the stuff I really want to talk about. So let's just get into the first movie. Now, I know most people may have watched these videos, but for the 5 of you who haven't, To All the Boys I Loved Before is a story about a Korean American teenager, which means she's like 16 in the first movie, called Lara Jean. Lara Jean, she's a total bookworm type, just like some girls, me. She reads romance books and she's not like the other girls. Seriously, what? And the thing is, Lara Jean has a crush on her sister's boyfriend, who was her best friend for a really long time. So, like, personally, I don't think it's kind of, I don't know, weird for you to start dating someone who was like your sibling's best friend. I just feel like it's a little weird. But okay, Lara Jean's the one in the wrong. Anyway, not about that. So she has a crush on her sister's best friend. And the thing about Lara Jean is that whenever she feels this type of emotions, this type of, I don't know, overflowing romantic feelings, she just has to take out a pen and a notebook and just write. Who cares about technology? She's gotta write that stuff. So she's writing about her feelings, and it turns out he's actually not that special because she's done this for 5 guys already. She did it for main lead, one of my favorite male leads in a while actually, Peter Kavinsky. She did it for her sister's boyfriend, and his name is Josh. I don't know Josh what, it doesn't matter. Trust me, it really doesn't matter. She did it for some guy she knew in Model UN, which now I'm thinking, because when you watch the second movie, it seems like they had like a lot more than Model UN. So I'm just like, why did you just say it was from Model UN when it was more than that anyway? Because he seemed like he was in her class, he just happened to move away. But okay, whatever. And who was it? Then she did it for this guy named is it Louis? I keep forgetting his name. Oh my god. But yeah, she did it for him too. And spoiler alert, he ended up being gay, which she had no idea about. But I guess that's just how the movie is. So anyway, she writes these letters for this guy so she can learn to express her feelings, and then she can move on from it without actually needing to do anything. Why she didn't decide to make a folder, write an email, delete it, put it on, throw away the papers. I don't know. She even addressed them, so it's just like, you wanted someone to know, didn't you? But okay. So she writes these letters for these guys, and she's been coping like this for a while until her sister decides to go to university. No, that came out wrong. Well, that day when we see them, we get imported into the movie. You're with me, right? Her sister is moving to Scotland for university, and that's the day she also decides to break up with her boyfriend. The same boyfriend that Lara Jean has a huge crush on. So what could go wrong? So anyways, this big thing and whatever, Josh is totally poor Josh. But Josh is totally distraught, whatever. And Lara Jean, she's just kinda ignoring, just kinda dealing with having her sister gone, dealing with everything. And she still wants to be friends with Josh. It doesn't look like she has any intent to go after or pursue some kind of romantic relationship with him. I think she just wants her friend back, which is nice. It's cute. But anyway, her sister Kitty decides it's time for her to move the plot along, and she sends all the letters to all the guys, and chaos ensues. Yes, chaos ensues, and it's crazy. It's actually not that crazy. It's actually kind of regarded, but just imagine if it was you in this situation, like if someone had a crush on you like 10 years ago or 5 years ago, and you got a letter and it's like, I've always liked you. Like, what are you going to do? Would you approach them? I would not. Like, even if I go to school with them, I would be like, wow, that's flattering. That's nice. And then I would move on. I would not just be like, hey, you said you have a crush on me. Is that true? I came here to find out if you have a crush on me. I just want to let you know I'm not interested. And they're like, no, no, that was 5 years ago. It's cool. Like it was just one of those things that they're like, I just want you to know I'm not interested. I don't like anyone else. Like, okay, whatever. I don't care. Like I just like someone else, but if we're different people at a different time, and they're like, dude, I get it, okay? Can you move on now? I just don't know. Like, what do you think you would do? I would not. I would not even look at them. I would not even talk to them. I'd just be like, that's nice. That's a nice thing, and then I would move on with my life. But okay. So anyway, the Peter guy from the letters, he that's exactly what he does. Actually, he comes to her to make it clear that he's not interested. And she decides the best way to clear all his doubts and to clear herself from this embarrassment after fainting in front of him is to go and make out with him on the field because Josh was coming in her direction. And even after the slight sexual assault that Peter experiences, he can't help but feel curious about this girl that assaulted him. Why? How? Who? So he decides, hey, I'm gonna follow this girl. I'm gonna find out where she is, and then I'm gonna ask her to fake date me. That's the best thing I could do in this type of situation. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? What are you doing? What are we doing? I don't understand. But anyway, that's exactly what he does. He follows up with her. He learns about why she did it and what she's going through with Josh, and he decides to want to help her for no reason at all. Like this girl has done shit for this guy, and he's just like, let's do it. Although he does want something out of it. He wants her to make his ex-girlfriend jealous. You know, the ex-girlfriend that dumps you for her new college boyfriend. Yeah, you need to get her back, to boss you around and make you feel bad about yourself. I don't know why people do that. But anyway, yeah, and it turns out, slight detour, that her name is Jen, the ex-girlfriend. Her name is Jen. Jen hates Lara Jean because of Lara Jean sort of made out with Peter. Even though when you look at it, Peter's really the one who did it. So what's going on there, Peter? Peter. But yeah, Lara Jean seems totally put off by it, even though she would clearly be getting more from this situation than he would. But she's put off by it until she just decides to go for it and do something different because this is gonna end well. And they decide fake dating. And what do you know? It turns out that actually, when you talk to someone and when you get to know them, and when you get to be a part of their lives and understand them better, feelings can happen. Whoever knew? This, I'm flabbergasted. So yeah, they end up having feelings for each other. A famous bathtub scene. My drink was in a bathtub. That would be weird. But a famous jacuzzi scene arrives out of that, and just drama, drama, drama. But they end up together. It's fun. It's nice. Whatever. Let's talk about the real one. I'm pissed about the second one. The second one is when John Ambrose comes back into the picture. Remember John Ambrose, the guy that they made that model UN lie for some reason? Yeah, he comes in. And they make it seem like it's this huge thing, like, oh, is she gonna leave Peter for him? What's she gonna do? And it's like, no, of course not. Of course she's not gonna leave Peter because of him. Why? It's not even a love triangle. Okay, so as I was watching the movie, like, documented, I took some notes about what was standing out to me and what I didn't like and what I did like. And out of reviewing those notes, I was able to come up with 5 things that I've noticed that I can tell um that are different from last time I watched it. So I was just hoping on talking about them and expanding on them a bit. So let's start with number one. Number one is I just have my notes here, right? So Lily Jean is a very passive participant in this relationship. Now, how do I explain this? So I was watching the movie, okay, and I'm starting to notice a thing that whenever Laura Jean encounters a difficult situation or something may not be going according to her way, or something like that, just something difficult, maybe she's done something wrong and someone is mad at her, that other people normally give her advice or make it seem less bad. Like she may have just done something terrible and it's fine, because you're the main character. And I didn't notice it before. She just plays a very passive role in her own relationship. I don't know whether that's because of Peter's energy, because Peter is more extroverted than she is. But it's just like if if he wasn't if he didn't do half of the stuff he did, would they even be together right now? I know she did that last ending scene in the first movie where she walks towards him, marching on, and she shyly tells him that she loves him and stuff like that. Or sorry, she likes him. She never tells him that she loves him in that movie. But yeah, I guess she did do that. But what about the hundreds of other stuff he did? You just feel like it was like 70-30. And what I gather, I just don't think it's that way in relationships. Like, I feel like it's more or less a combined effort. I know that in some relationships, maybe even most, that there's someone who likes the other person more than the other person, and it's not completely 50-50. But when it starts becoming 80-20, 90-10, I think that that's an issue. And I never really noticed it until, well, now. So I just wanted to talk about that because of it really does give kind of like a vibe where it's like you can just do nothing, read your books all day, don't try talking to other people or try broadening your social circle, and things will just happen for you and people will just like you and you will just end up in relationships. I just don't think that that's true. It could happen for some people, maybe, but for most of us out here, we have to work, work on friendships, put that effort in, especially if it's a romantic relationship. So I just feel like it's a bad message for you to kind of imply that you don't really have to do much to be in a relationship. And I didn't like that. So that's my first point. My second one, point number two is Peter. The Peters of this world are non existent. This may be a very close minded view, and I'm okay with that. But I have never met anyone like Peter Krusinski. Now, I know how he sounds, I'm fawning over him, which I am a little, okay? But my main point is that Peter is this caring, mature, active person. He listens, he hears. He doesn't take things into he's not like a selfish person. He's not perfect, he's flawed. He does some things that maybe he shouldn't have in the movie. But I'm just saying that you don't really find people like him, especially in like high school, because like, he's so put together and kind of mature and kind of understands his relationships. He understands the people he dates. He's not just dating them because of status or because of any superficial reason. He's dating them because he likes them, even Jen. So I just don't feel like there's much people like him ever. And the movie kind of implies that you always find a Peter there. There'll always be someone like that there. But is there really, especially for someone like Lara Jean who's more introverted, who doesn't really like to go out or leave her comfort zone? I just don't feel like any Peters would really be coming in her way. So girls who may be like her, who may be thinking that they could get their own Peter too, I just don't feel like that's gonna happen. And of course, this is not the best news, especially when you're young and you want those kind of things. But I just feel like even for a movie, you should somewhat be a little realistic. If you're going to put all this effort in making sure everything looked, you know, somewhat realistic and somewhat like it could happen in real life, then maybe you should also try putting in characters that are there in real life, like do exist in reality. That's what I feel. And Peter is one of the rare few ones. If you do know a Peter in your life, or you've met one before, let me know because this is very close minded. I'm just speaking on my experiences and maybe the people in my life. So that's basically where all this is coming from. But genuinely, never met someone like him. That'd be awesome if I met someone like him. Point number three. I don't know why it kind of made me a little depressed a little bit. That's okay. Point number three, lack of accountability. Oh. Okay. One huge issue. I'm getting heated up. One huge issue in this movie is that Lara Jean lacks so much accountability for her actions. And I'm talking about both of them, but mostly the second one. Like, where do I even start? This girl is doing stuff, and when is she getting, like, where is her accountability? Where is her, I'm sorry I did this, that was wrong? Where is her, wow, I shouldn't have done this, I should have thought this through? She makes mistakes, and that's fine. Like, make your mistakes, like, I don't expect you to be perfect, but hold your characters accountable. I'm so angry. Hold your characters accountable for what they do. Don't let them do stuff. Don't let them hurt people and act like that's okay, like they're the ones in the right. I have no problem with flawed people. Flawed people are even interesting to watch. I can't say I wasn't interested in the girl. I can't say that. But you cannot just finish your movies and just not hold her accountable. And for the record, I am not including the third movie in this. I am merely looking at it like only these two movies have come out. So if you're gonna be like, well, in the third movie, she did this, that's all great and fine. Thank you. But I'm not talking about that right now. I'm talking about the second one, and I'm acting like that is the final movie. Because if the third one hadn't come out, they would have just left it that way. So why should I pardon them because maybe the third one fixes everything? And I don't even remember if it does. So that's just where I stand. One of the things I wanted to bring up out of the many things she's done, no, I want to bring up two things, two key points. One of them is the cheating. She kisses John Ambrose after she's broken up with Peter. I don't know how long the breakup was, but what I know is that before that scene of her going to volunteer at the senior citizens house, she had a talk with Jen, and after that talk you could see that she finally kind of understands where Peter was coming from. So when I watched that scene, I assumed that the next thing she was gonna do is talk to Peter, even if it's just a phone call, even if it's just a text, or I need to talk to you or something like that. I assumed that was the next thing, but I just saw her pulling up to the senior citizens house after that whole emotional thing with Jen, and I'm just like, what are you doing here, and where is Peter, and when are you gonna talk to him? Before I know it, she's telling John Ambrose that she's broken up with Peter, and I'm like, but you plan to get back together with him, you understand where he's coming from, and obviously you still have feelings, so why are you telling John Ambrose, who you can tell has some feelings for you? That's kind of a, a bad thing to do. It's kind of a really bad thing for you to do, you know and it just keeps getting worse. They go outside, they have this very, very awkward conversation. I never noticed how awkward they were before, but in that scene it was so awkward. I felt so forced. But anyway, they are like making snow angels forcefully. Like, you guys are grown. You guys are grown. That's not cute. But I'm making snow angels, and they're smiling and they're laughing, and one thing leads to another thing, and she kisses him, and it took me out because I thought they were gonna do like an almost thing where he would like move in and she would just be like, no. This has made me realize that I like Peter and I want to continue to build my relationship with him. Peter is the one for me. I was waiting for that. You know what I got? I got her kissing him, pushing John Ambrose away, going back inside the house. To talk to an old lady who has been very nice to her for no reason. Probably because of her older sister, but seriously, her name is Stormy. Stormy, this bitch has done nothing for you. You really don't need to. We don't need to do that. Like, be kind. Be kind to everyone. But this girl does not give. She does not care. And it just rubbed me it just rubbed me the wrong way. I really didn't like that. I didn't like that was what happened in the scene. It was so messed up because it just doesn't feel like Lara Jean would have done something like that. But who knows, since her personality took a deep dive during this last one. So who even knows if she's capable or something like that. But that sucks. John Ambrose just kind of like just kind of fucked up somewhere. He was gone. Like, where he go? He was outside or in the back. I don't know where they kissed, but he was outside, and he wasn't there anymore. Like, my dude, I get it. You took that L, but you're still volunteering. You can't leave. You still have something to do. You know, where you go? We just never saw him again. Like, my work here is done, guys. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that Stormy seems to kind of I don't know. She seems to kind of try to smooth things over, make it seem not as bad as it was, telling Lara Jean things like and I quote here, sometimes you've gotta kiss the wrong guy, and I'm just like, no, you don't. No, you don't have to kiss the wrong guy. No, you don't. You have a relationship. You have someone you love. You have someone that you know loves you too. Bear in mind that he told this girl in the first movie that he loves her, and she never told him that back. So she knows that this guy really cares about her. She knows. She knows, and Stormy's just kind of making it seem like it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. That would wreck Peter. Imagine if the tables were turned. Imagine if it was Peter who did this. Would we even be talking about reconciliation? Would we even be talking about forgiveness? It's just not fair. It's not. And the worst thing is, after her little, I guess it's not that bad. I guess I'm not a terrible person. I should probably go find Peter. She goes outside. They don't even give her. They don't even make her go to his house to apologize. They don't even make her give that much effort because he's right there. He's right there, ready to take her back. Open arms, saying stuff like "break my heart." And I know I'm supposed to be crying over them. So it's like, oh my god, what's it to break my heart? My god, I guess this is what love truly is. Oh no, break his heart. I mean, you already have, and you probably will. Oh my god. It's like, no, don't break his heart. What's wrong with you? Like, what? Do you see? Can you sense my frustration? If you can, and I'm getting kind of scary, sorry. Up to today, I just cannot with that scene. And then she tells him, "I love you," and then they kiss, and then they go to watch that treehouse getting destroyed, and then they start flying. I don't know what the director was on those final few minutes of that movie, but it was just crazy. But yeah, and that's how it ends. I thought she was gonna tell him, listen, I kissed John Ambrose. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. But it did make me realize how much I love you and how much I want this to work. I mean, what she did wasn't good, and it wouldn't have taken away that, but that would have been nicer, right? That would have felt more genuine and more authentic, right? She just told him that she loved him, and I just cannot feel good about it because of why are you saying that? It's because you love him, or is it because you kissed someone else and you feel bad? Do you even love him? Because of now, it just feels forced. Now it just feels fake. Worst part is that Peter never knew. I don't know about the third movie if she ever told him, but it just sucks, and it did not make me happy. Which is actually like my fifth point in this video of part of my key points. I did not like the ending scene between Lara Jean and Peter. I did not like it at all. It really made me feel bad when I finished watching the movie because the movie was actually kind of fun, but that scene just kind of just put me in a really bad mood. I did not like it. Mm-mm. And then the other thing she does that she doesn't take accountability for is the breakup scene. I feel like this girl has been very weird in the relationship, talking about how they should break up, talking about, you know, uh, should we still be in this relationship? Who am I? Who should I be? Why didn't you do this for me when you did it for Jen? All this kind of like weird talk, and then at a point she just like she dresses up for his game. It's really important, by the way, and her friend tells her that she saw him and his ex kind of like, I don't know, doing some weird hugging thing, some weird holding on thing, I don't know. And that's when she decides to go confront him about it, start asking questions. They totally ruined the jacuzzi scene that was such a big hit in the first movie, and they implied that he was only there because of Jen, and it seems to be true. Honestly, I cannot say that Peter did what was right. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and be like Peter was right and she shouldn't have exaggerated. I'm just feeling like, okay, you did something wrong. He did something wrong. Why not give him the chance to explain himself? I'm not saying to forgive him or to not break up with him if that's what you want to do, but given that it's someone you care about, you should at least just hear them out. You should at least just give them that time to explain. If you don't want to hear them out at that exact moment, that's fine. You gotta feel your emotions, but give him a chance. He's being good to you. For if anything, as a friend, I feel like the relationship was based on some sort of friendship before it started. So this guy was your friend first. As a friend, give him that opportunity to explain to you what happened. It's not fair that you're doing this right there and then, especially when he has a huge game and this might even mess up his gameplay. You shouldn't do stuff like that to people. That's not right. He just kept on like going on and on and on, and it was so like, we get it, we understand, and he's just trying to talk but she's not letting him, and then she just breaks up with him and proceeds to have this like kind of sad face where they're playing this like moral of the story, that song, and they're doing this whole dramatic thing where she's like not wearing blush today because she's really really sad and depressed, and Peter's sad and depressed. It's just like, okay, what he did was wrong. What he did was wrong, okay? But now you're making it weird. You're being weird about it. You're being not forgiving. You're being closed off. And it's kind of like you wanted this in a way. If you told me in some other version of this movie that she was just really looking for any excuse to leave this relationship, I would believe you. Because of, yeah, maybe she was. Because why would you? Why would you amp everything up so much and blow things out of proportion? Why would you lose someone you care about based on a fight? They've only ever had like two fights in this whole movie. The treehouse one and this one. And in the treehouse one, she even suggested breaking up then too. I get it. she doesn't understand relationships, and maybe she thinks every fight is just a reason to break up. It's really not. It's just everything about just those two scenes did not put Lara Jean in the best light for me. It really made me stop sympathizing with her as a character. It made me stop caring about what she's going through. When she was quote unquote depressed, I just did not care. I'm just watching this girl. I'm just like, girl, what are you doing? Can you not? Can you not? If you're gonna break up with this guy, at least own it. At least own what you're doing, okay? Don't be up here acting all emo and stuff. That's not cool. And well, my last point, I guess, is timing and second chances. So basically, I want to talk about the main lead and the second lead effect. And in all these love triangles, most of the time, it's the first male lead that gets the girl. That's just how it is. You know that when it's a love triangle and someone is being brought like after the main lead has been introduced. I mean, whenever if I say main lead, I mean male lead. I don't know why I'm not talking properly, but that's what I mean. So after when you see the main lead getting introduced first, you already know that that's the male lead of the story, the first one. And the second one, you can already tell that they're not gonna get together, him and the female lead. So you can already know, okay, you're kind of desensitized to all of this. I just wanted to talk about this because of you're already rooting for Peter to be with Laura Jean. You want them to be together. But I just want to ask why. They have a good connection and they bonded over the traumas, I guess, in the first movie. And it seems like they're happy for the most part. But it's just like some scenes where when Peter's just having like fun, like some party scenes, and he's having fun with his friends, and Lara Jean is just kind of like watching him from afar or something. She doesn't seem happy. She doesn't say she wants to be there, and I just don't know. It just means that two different, completely different people. Like what is this relationship really like? Where is this going? Just because you have like good chemistry with someone, you are able to talk good. Does that mean that that's the perfect person for you? Like that's your right partner? Because when I was looking at John Ambrose, I can tell the energy was different. You know, even though he didn't have much to work with, so from playing the piano and saying the same line over and over again, I can tell like if they were dating, she probably wouldn't be as insecure as she is now. And that's not just about the fact that John Ambrose will probably be that she will probably be John Ambrose's first girlfriend. It's just the vibe. They seem to connect, not just on like the past, also as people. They both seem introverted. They both seem like they like the same stuff. They both seem to get each other, and they're both very comfortable with each other. You know, it's not easy for someone to live your life for years and then come back and you can still talk to them pretty comfortably. I don't really think that happens a lot. I feel like there was potential there, and the only reason why he was so looked down upon is because he's the second male lead, so he can't get the girl. He doesn't get the girl. But I was just questioning, like they just seem so much better suited for each other. I'm not saying opposites don't attract or there are no relationships like that in the real life. In the real life. In the real world. I'm just saying that when all is said and done, who are you most comfortable with? Who do you like talking to more? Who gets you better? That's what matters more than popularity, more than who you met first. Who do you like being with more? That's what's most important. And the movie doesn't really discuss why it thinks that John Ambrose and Lara Jean are better suited for each other. It doesn't explore into that. It doesn't give them a chance. And I just didn't like that. I felt like if you were gonna do a love story, if you're gonna do a love triangle, you should at least give the second male lead a chance. Like, have you guys watched True Beauty? It's like so good. The K drama. I feel like that K drama did so much better than any other love triangle I've ever watched, like especially the American ones. It just gave you scenes of both, you know? You had her with the main lead, the main male lead. You also had her with the second male lead. You could understand how she could have feelings for both. You can understand why she would choose the first male lead before the second one. You get where her head is at. You understand, you know? And it's just so much better because now you get it. Now you're not like kind of confused and you're not kind of like, but they had better chemistry than them. You're not like that because it explains, it explores relationships and it shows you. And they just didn't do that for them, which I don't know why. It just kind of wasted Jordan Fisher's talent, if you're asking me. I feel like he could have done better without this movie, if I'm being honest. Maybe it helped him, maybe it made him more popular, which is good for him. That's great for him. But at the end of the day, it's just how I feel about it. I don't really know why the movie had to exist. Because if you ask me, it just didn't do Lara Jean good. It didn't explore Jordan Fisher's character. Peter, in the halfway point of the movie, just started feeling like a secondary character. He just felt so disconnected from us at a point, and I didn't like that. As you can tell, you can already tell like how I felt about this movie. It was fun. I had fun watching it. I just didn't like how it ended, and I wanted to talk about it, so I have. Okay, so I needed a minute after that last section. It was like I was getting way too invested in that story. And just so you guys know, I don't care about it that much. It was just those specific parts that just kind of like threw me off. So if I seem weirdly passionate about fictional characters, then that's it's probably because of that. I'm fine. I did want to address two more things in this video because this video I want it to be long, but just such a yapper. I just cannot stop talking. One more thing I wanted to talk about is the role of this type of media in the lives of young girls today. Because even though this movie, I didn't really care about it that much. You know, it didn't really make that much of an impact on me and on my growth. It did kind of maintain some toxic views I have, views that I'm trying even up to now to try and get rid of, to try and grow from. So I'm just wondering, like, what are we doing? You know, why are we kind of making up these stories that don't really have any realistic element? Why are we making up these couples, this whole toxic kind of people, and glorifying them and not really addressing their problems? And why are we kind of giving that to young girls and young boys? But I'm really focusing on young girls now because of there's a lot of things I learned from the media. There's a lot of things I read, a lot of things I watched that kind of just like enabled me to think in certain ways that I'm now realizing that it was not the best way for me to think. It was not good for my growth. It was not good at me. It was not good for me in general, and it was not good for me if I ever wanted to get into relationships. It's now something I'm trying to break away from. And if I had known back then, like being like a young teenager, maybe things would be different. Maybe I would be better. I actually don't know. But maybe it would be. So that's one of the reasons why I'm also reviewing this, because I just wanted to kind of separate escapism, being in some kind of fantasy reality and just having fun with that, and also trying to dismystify all this kind of myths about relationships and love and what it means to be in love and what it means to be in a relationship. You know, I just wanted to do that because of we need to stop talking about how most things that young girls watch, consume, read is not based on real stuff from real life. It does have some realistic elements, but it's just not true. And I don't know why we've all decided to collectively just ignore that this is a problem, that this is kind of like a lie, that guys are not really like that, and you can't really sit down on your bed and expect things to change, It's just it's just not a good mindset, and that's why I made this video. So after doing that, to all the boys I've loved before was made like a couple of years ago. I will put in the date right here because I don't know it right now, but I know it's been a while since it was made, and so I wanted to see what type of new movies are in this genre now, this kind of like teen rom-com kind of thing. And this is what I found. I just want to say that I'm sorry, kids. Looks like things are going in the wrong direction. But it's all about the little things you can do to help. This is mine, I guess. Another thing I wanted to talk about in this video before I log off, because I'm hungry and I'm tired and I'm talking so much. Ah, it's just about Valentine's Day. As you know, as I said before, Valentine's Day was a couple of days ago, and I've been talking about it with my friends and my sisters, and we've all kind of have one thing in common. It's that being single on Valentine's Day, it sucks, right? It does. I know that it kind of sucks, but why does it suck? you know, for me, I don't know. Valentine's Day has always just been like one of those days. You're like, okay, cool, and then I don't know. Sometimes I watch a romantic movie just because, just have some fun with that. But now I'm wondering, like, as I grow up and as all these like kind of expectations and kind of different things, I get like exposed to new different things now concerning love and relationships. It just start to think like, is being single that bad? Like, just like a general question. I don't know if I'm here to make a statement or whether I'm here to be like, no, it's great. Be girl boss. Keep doing it, girl. If I'm here to say like, oh, we need to get together and get ourselves a man. Ugh. Definitely not here to say that one. But yeah, it's just like why is it such a bad thing to be single? Usually on a day like Valentine's Day, I feel like Valentine's Day just has a way of kind of shifting your perspective a little bit. Because if you're in a relationship, you're feeling more elevated. Elevated. You're feeling more elevated and you're feeling kind of higher than now, you're feeling kind of good. At least, I don't know, some of them. Some people who post relentlessly on Valentine's Day about their relationships, I can tell maybe that's how they're feeling. Mm. But it does have a way of making you think about your status now. And when you're single and you're seeing all these things, it does make you feel a little bit worse about yourself. And your perspective can change like hugely. Because my friend, she says that she's surrounded by a ton of girls were in different schools, so she's surrounded by a ton of girls who are in relationships, and she noticed that she really started to feel very depressed on Valentine's Day. And what going to Instagram did not help her at all in that regard. And me too as well. Like, I'm not surrounded by a bunch of people who are in relationship. Mostly everyone I know is single. At least I think they are, and maybe they are. They seem single. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that obviously she had a worse time on Valentine's Day than I did, because of she was surrounded by all these people in relationships, and she kept wondering, why can't I have one? And she's always been complaining about this, like, why can't I have a boyfriend? Why can't I have something that everyone else has? And I'm just like, what, do you want one? Do you want a boyfriend? And she's like, I do, but and I don't. And I feel like that's just the thing, because of Why do you want it to kind of like signify your status has been changed, that now you can enjoy Valentine's Day the way it was supposed to be enjoyed, like, or is it for that companionship? Like, mostly we're not even sure what we even want out of all these relationships, or for some of us who are new, I don't know how to say, to all these kind of things. It's kind of complicated to gauge what we really want from relationships. It's kind of like a huge amount of naivety involved in all of this. And the thing most people will tell you is that don't rush into it, get in when you're ready. But the truth is, you don't really know when you're ready. Some people were just walking along and they just ended up being in relationships, and it might have been the best one of their lives or the worst ones of your life. So everyone's just really confused about it, but it just always seems like being single is just the bad thing, it's just a bad thing. And I just don't know why. I don't get it. I guess it's kind of like you don't have something that someone else has, so you kind of want it. But it's just like, maybe we should start thinking about why we want it in the first place, or if it's even worth it. If let's just like try and put ourselves in that situation, because some people, they might want it, but if they do get it, they just get so miserable. So I don't know. Just trying to lay out my thoughts and see if anyone agrees or if anyone disagrees with that. Because Valentine's Day really does make you think. It does. And it does have the power to make other people feel depressed or really lonely. Maybe that's why singlehood is looked down upon, because maybe you're just more lonely than others. But like, what if you have like friends and stuff? Like, what if you have people? Do you feel less lonely, and then being single for you is not a big deal? But what if you still do feel lonely? I don't know. It's like, I'm trying to wrap my head around it, honestly. And this part is not even scripted. I'm just kind of like vibing and talking. I don't know. Just let me know what you think. Because of the way I see it, the way I see it is that I think Valentine's Day is anything you want it to be. I feel like if you're that kind of person who knows deep down that you want a relationship, just not based on other people or even based on Valentine's Day itself, you just want a relationship, you want that connection, then you're allowed to feel a little sad on Valentine's Day, and that's okay. But if you are wanting a relationship because everyone seems to be in one and you're angry and you're frustrated, what do you really expect to gain out of that? Like, even if you do find one, is it gonna be a good one? If you are in a relationship and you were happier being single, then what are we doing? What are we doing? So basically, it does look in the large scheme of things that being single sucks. But I feel like, as I said before, it's all about perspective. If you don't feel like being single is something that sucks for you, if you are happy and content, or if you have explored a lot of relationships and you have come to the conclusion that you're better off by yourself, or if you do want a relationship and it's something you're actively looking for, or if you are in a relationship and it's something that makes you so happy you just have to put it on all your social media, then that's okay. Because at the end of the day, people are gonna do what they want to do. And I just want to say, like, and this is what I said to my friend too, like, you just focus on being happy. And if a relationship is something that you feel can add to that happiness, then go for it. Try your best. If it's not, then just let it go and just be happy. Don't try and contain all these feelings and emotions or whatever. Just be yourself, be happy. Because I really do feel like, going back to those movies that I was talking about before, that Peter Kavinsky could have been happy if he was just a single guy. I know he's happy in a relationship too, but I just feel like if he was by himself, just vibing, being with his friends, enjoying his life in high school, would he have been happier? Maybe. I don't know. That's just me. So yeah, to me, being single doesn't suck. It's whatever. Okay, So thank you guys so much for watching this video, for talking. Not you guys didn't say shit. For listening to me rant on, and for being here. And if you made it to this part of this video, please give it a like, comment, subscribe. uh I have a weird goal of getting to 100 subscribers by the end of this month, and I don't know if I can do it. I'm hoping. That'd be cool, but it's not like I'm gonna die if it doesn't happen. But anyway, if you want to help me with that, you can. So thank you very, very much, and I will see you in the next one, and have a good rest of your February. I don't know what that was. Bye.